Hello everyone, it's time for a new video here. This time to talk about my own experience in a Honduran call center, working as a medical interpreter, you can say, even though you're doing other tasks. But yeah, you can sum it up as that way. Let's call it ICV for the sake of security. Wink, wink. You know that you're willingly lying. I haven't double checked the contract. Some of the stuff should be kept private, but I'm not sure. But hear me here. Um, as a general review, I was reading a Criterio H in a note, and it was mostly focused on the negative things. It was talking about the hourly labor law that was abolished last year in 2022, May, I believe, or June. It was a focus on that. And the whole thing was negative completely. I will say about my experience, it was not like that. I was treated well. So personally, there was no problem. Paychecks were on time all the time. I have no complaint about that with that company specifically. And don't get me wrong here. I know that some of you have had many bad experiences. I've heard horrible things, and that may happen. Is focus on that industry in some way as the pattern that I'm able to grasp. But that's something that I haven't go deep into it. Even though my experience was good. I was working remotely. I'm an introvert, so I don't like to, meet people and shit, do meetings, uh, commute, and all that bullshit. I prefer to, to stay in home, do my own thing, finish it, continue with the next thing I'm doing, and my pet projects at least. And I was doing that. I was doing that. I had a lot of available time during each call at the beginning when it was not that horrible. And after that, not you cannot say horrible, but you kind of get bored. I'm going to get into that in a moment. But I was doing other tasks that made me feel very good because I was completing other things at available time, a time you're not taking calls and helping its patients and doctors or medical specialists and stuff. So that was good on that side. The level of difficulty is also another thing to consider. If you manage the language, if you know how to speak, how to listen properly, if you're C1 or C2, you will not have a problem. If you can watch this video, understand probably 80% of what I'm saying, even though I may have some mistakes in the pronunciation and stuff. I make my effort in trying to be as fluent as possible, but everybody has mistakes. So I'm not a native speaker in that sense. It was good. Put money in my pocket, put food in my belly, in some, you will say that's reductionist or something. But yeah, don't get me wrong. It's something people need. They need the money. They need to be supported. You gain a skill, and that's what you do. You just exploit it, let's say, and they exploit it. And that's the other thing that we need to consider. They will not. They will go as less as possible to consider all the things, just as every company that is profiting, is that the word, making profit for the sake of profit, as every fucking company, if it's functional. um so nothing else will be considered. For a person like me, that's kind of hellish because I'm accustomed to analyze things and to continue trying to continually understand them. That's just the way that I work. I understand others may not have that pattern at that same time, and that's understandable. One of the things and the reasons that I quit was because I was continuously bored after some time. I said, "Oh, am I going to continue with this?" Why are you asking the question? For example, for a company, for instance, you may have a questionnaire or something. You're asking the people, how long do you prefer to stay here or you want to stay here? 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, or something. Are you making them to do the same task? What are your answers? That's some of the things that are illogical. Don't ask the people. You already know the answer. People will not. It will be unbearable. People will just, I don't know, play a video game. They will burn out or something. So don't ask them that question. If that you know what you're doing. I understand this company was very young at the time that I entered, so I don't judge it. I want national companies to grow in every sense. So that's why my posture is not wanting to attack it, because I want every, again, company, enterprise to develop, to be competitive, to get our name in an international sense above. And we can do it because of our, for example, that's another thing. You can think about our accent. You compare it with Filipinos or something. Which one you would say that is neutral? Who has to do the most of the work to get it as close as Americanized? You can say, who will take longer? Probably Filipinos or people from India or something than us, because due to our accent, it will not be that difficult, and people will understand it. It will be more clear. It will be better in some sense. That's one thing. The other thing, we do have quality. We have many people who speak very well here. It may grow as fast as possible, helping the Latino community to receive proper healthcare there in the USA or in other countries. And in other senses, business, insurances, legal court calls, and stuff like that, cases, that thing. So I don't see it as negative at all. I just see that the administration is doing a bad job in this particular case. Even though I know that they were opening an academy or something at the time for people to get into it, raise to another position, and they will be not anymore the overqualified will be a thing, because people will ascend. They will have the opportunity to get their skills. You're thinking about PhDs, doctors, professionals, whatever. In this case, I'm a biology student, but you may have graduates already there who has not, due to the educational system failure, the public in the majority of cases, they will be end up working there because they focus on a single skill they have to manage, and that's mostly it. And you have to have some, I don't know, don't insult the people while you're doing that. That was the reason why I responsibly quit. I would not want to make a, how you say that, a trick or something. I don't know what's the word. Cheat. There you go. And to cheat to others just because stop taking calls or something, that's meaningless. It doesn't make any sense. You have to speak out, express where your problem is, and try to find a solution. Yeah, sometimes you may have to cheat for some stuff, but there you go. This is an exception. You can go the legal route, the normal route. Speak to another person, say it. You're doing a bad job. You're administrating its calls. It's unbearable to take it one after the other. Do something. Let us do another task. Let us think in another. I don't know. It's something else to do. That's the administration above its own task to think about it. They are doing a wrong, a bad job in that sense, if you're thinking about it. So yeah, mostly I have positive things to say, because yeah, like I said, I had the no problem, no complaints in that regard. If you're, for example, you're very young, you do not have another skill, very good, you can go into it, especially with the company that I just mentioned. I have a very good review in some sense. I just quit because I have all the things to do. And in some sense, I could say I could develop other things, even though I haven't researched. I was focused, you can see in my channels, I'm focused on a different thing, for a different purpose. But that's just me. Yeah. In regards to the labor hourly law, it was something good that it was abolished in 2022, because the benefits for the workers are very, syndicates, like I think it's called, unions. Yeah, unions are able to be formed. And that's very good. People get more conscious about what they're doing, their own rights, their constitutional rights. They could defend it, knowing as well that they are doing the best to offer the best service. No problem with that. because people are organizing for a reason, fairly, wanting to be as productive as possible. They may be patriotic or something. They could also just see themselves as a something for having something to gain. Yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end, it's a goal that is being achieved through these enterprises. So not a problem at all. I'm just saying some of the things need to be fixed. At the time, it wasn't bearable for me, so that's the reason why I quit. And I'll be making more videos about this for people who want to know more. But yeah, give it a try if you have the opportunity. Thank you for watching. That's all.